Thank you. So please keep yourself muted and feel free to post your questions in the chat box. We'll address them during the Q&A sessions, and we'll also give you the floor to speak up during these small Q&A breaks. Before we start with the presentation, we would like to quickly begin with an interactive poll using menti.com. And I would like to ask you the question, which of the details of the VR Health Champions Open Call 2025 would you most like to hear about? So if you can, please go to menti.com, use this code which is visible on the slide, and rank these topics according to your interest. And this will be visible on the slide soon. And this would be a great help for us to tailor the presentation and make sure to detail those topics that matters the most for you. So let's wait a few more seconds until everyone can enter their rankings. So we've been receiving answers, and from this I can see that application process and evaluation process are the most relevant topics for you today. This will be followed by the challenges, and then project implementation and financial and legal background. So thank you very much for submitting these answers, and we'll make sure to keep this ranking in mind. So let's move on to see the agenda. So the aim of today's call is to walk you through the processes of the VR Health Champions Open Call, including the application, the evaluation, the implementation, and also, of course, the challenges. And as mentioned, we would like to highlight those relevant topics that we have received the most questions about so far. So we'll start with a short introduction of the VR Health Champions project. Then this will be followed by the processes of the VR Health Champions Open Call with all the practical details. Then we will have a short Q&A session about this first part of the webinar. This will be followed by short presentations about the challenges by the challenge owner Flagship SMEs of the project. And then we will conclude with a Q&A session on the challenges. And with that, I'd like to give the word to Cristiana Costa, who is representing Instituto Pedro Nunes, the coordinator of the VR Health Champions project, to quickly introduce this project to us. So,
thank you very
Cristiana,
much, Viola.
Thank you.
Thank you. So as Viola mentioned, I'm Cristiana Costa. I work in Instituto Pedro Nunes in Portugal, and I'm the proud coordinator of VR Health Champions, an I3 instrument project, an European project that supports SMEs from XR and VR applications in health to face what are relevant barriers, such as technical barriers, market access, clinical validation, and even regulatory affairs. So this is a project that has in the core 5 flagship SMEs, Lightspace, MIVA, MedUp, MetaSkills, and VirtualLip. And the purpose of this project is to support them to reach the TRL level 9. Next slide, please. How it works, so we have a partnership that builds here a strong interregional innovation network to support those SMEs. We will expand through Europe the ecosystem through engaging more SMEs into the project, not only our 5 SMEs, our 5 flagships. We are producing tailored advisory service for rapid market uptake, and those SMEs that are in the pipeline are now receiving these services, and we are supporting them in all the barriers and all the challenges that they are facing in this process. Next slide, please. As mentioned, besides our 5 flagship SMEs, we also have more 13 partners with spread across 8 European countries. Next slide, please. And the five flagship SMEs that were mentioned are Lightspace, Miva, MedUp, MetaSkills, and Virtualips. Next slide, please. And who are those companies? So Lightspace develops multifocal displays, a unique human-centric 3D visual hardware and software, and supporting software to create customized AR solutions for health. MIVA has an innovative therapeutics for teens with neurodevelopment disorders using a solution called Zentastic VR platform, feature multiplayer games and analysis to track stress and boosting social skills. MedUp works with Lightspace and developed already Kernel Life Holo, an FDA-approved solution, and they are now planning on a solution for real-time tool tracking in partnership with Lightspace for improving navigations. We also have MetaSkills that has a different focus, a VR and Gen AI system for training healthcare managers in soft skills, using also 3D avatars for realistic interactions and instant feedback. And Virtualip develops a virtual reality solutions for cognitive assessment, training, bless you, and monitoring. Their new product is called Conclear VR, offers cognitive assessment in VR based on neurophysiological validated tests. And those are the five flagship SMEs that we have now in the project, and they are looking for your support in the open call.
Thank you very much, Christiana. So I take back the word now. So let's see the details of the VR Has Champions Open Call and how it comes to the picture of this VR Has Champions project. So we are looking for external SMEs and would like to invite them to join the project and contribute with their specific expertise to help move innovations from TRL 6 to TRL 9 of these five flagship SMEs. We have already identified the specific needs of these SMEs and the expertise we are looking for, and these will be detailed in the challenge description section. But for now, let's see what's in it for selected applicants. They will have the opportunity to receive a lump sum grant up to a value of 40,000 euros. Also, selected applicants will work closely with one of the five flagship SMEs and co-develop their solutions, tackling their challenges. Selected applicants will also get access to the VR Health Champions ecosystem, including the EIT Health Network, Instituto Pedro Nunes, for example, or Medtronic. They will also help build interregional innovation value chains around these flagship SMEs. And now some practicalities. Let's see the eligibility criteria. We are looking for SMEs as defined by the European Commission. And regarding the geographic eligibility, we are looking for applicants who are legally established in one of the following regions: a less developed region, an outermost region, or a region covered by the VR Health Champions Consortium. I think this needs a little explanation. Here on the map, you can see the regions, which is marked by red, is eligible. But in the call text, we also have all the eligible regions listed, and also there is a link to an explanation of how these regions are formed. Eligible applicants also need to show 1 year of business or professional activity, and each applicant can participate in only one challenge in their applications. And now let's talk about the application process. Here you can see a timeline of the application and evaluation phase of this project. So we are receiving we are accepting applications until the 23rd of June this summer. And this period will be followed by the remote evaluation, which will be concluded by 18th of July. Then the hearings, the online hearings and the final selection will take place until the 11th of August. And this will be followed by the notification of the applicants until the 18th of August. And here you can see a summary of the application process. It's easy and all online. All the relevant information regarding the application process is available on the VR Health Champions website. So interested applicants can go to the website, check the call text, download all the important documentation, then read the call text, choose the challenge, and check the templates and required attachment, fill them in. Then go back to the website, fill in the submission form and or the application form, and upload the filled in required attachment and submit the application. Here you can see a list of the required attachments. We have templates that are already available on the website that we would like to ask you to fill in. First one is the SME declaration, which is a self-assessment document in which you need to confirm that your company complies with the SME definition. Then the declaration of honor is a declaration on that the applicants accept the conditions of this call. Then the ethics and security self-assessment, and then the budget table. We need this budget table because this call operates in a so-called lump sum model, and we need to, or the budget and work plan of the projects need to be planned upfront. There will be no cost reporting in the end, and the payments will be based solely on the delivered results. My colleague Gabor will talk about this in more detail very soon. And we also have additional required documents for which we don't provide any templates. One is the company register certificate, then the proof of the activity of the latest closed financial year. This will be the balance sheet, and then the best value for money justification, and this should be a payslip. And with that, I'd like to give the word to Gabor Balint, my colleague, who will introduce you the legal and financial background of this call. So, Gabor, if you are here, please.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. So I will speak shortly about the details of the legal and financial background of the call. Next slide, please. So the main element of this call is that this is a lump sum call, meaning, as Viola has mentioned, that there's not going to be thorough cost reporting at the end of the project, so you don't have to bring your invoices or any slips related to your cost. Instead of that, a detailed cost estimate and the work plan must be prepared, and both the work plan and related budget must be in line with the challenges in Annex 1 of the call. So the cost estimate will be used as a basis for justifying and fixing the lump sum amount as per the text of the call. And in the end of the project, the payments will be made upon the completion of the activities set out in your work plan, which is going to be the Annex 1 of your financial support agreement that we will going to conclude with you. Next slide, please. Here you can see the print screen of the call budget table that you are needed to prepare during your application. It consists of 5 sheets, and this is the order, this is sequence that we recommend to work on. So the first sheet is the instructions, where you can read all the essential details on how the table works, what are the eligible costs, and how you should complete this exercise. The second contains your application. The third one is a detail of your work plan. The fourth one is the budget breakdown, when you input your figures to the table. And the fifth one, the budget summary, is an automatically calculated sheet. Next slide, please. Yes, and here you can see the work plan table. Besides the figures, of course, this is the most essential part of this document. And you can see the rows and the columns that you have to provide information for. The most important thing here is the deliverables. So deliverables must be identical in context and quantity to the deliverables of the given challenge, including on next one of the VR HSQL. And one deliverable shall mean one task. As you can see, there's a task number and there are the expected outcomes and the milestones. All these items are related to a deliverable, and the task number will be given automatically by the system if you click on the Add New Task button in the Excel. But you will have to provide the description, the expected outcomes, and the milestones as well. The expected outcomes are the broader impacts or benefits of the given task, and it should align with the project objectives. And the milestones are the main cornerstone of your project encounter during the implementation of the given deliverable, and it is time-bound and indicative key achievements. And an additional information, which is I think pretty important, the reason why you have this separate deliverables, so each line for each deliverable, a budget breakdown will be automatically added once you clicked on the Add New Task, is that when you will be able to finalize your project and you will report your project, if you have any deliverables unfulfilled, meaning that you weren't able to deliver those given deliverable or deliverables, that means we will only pay after the delivered deliverables in line with the financial support agreement and the first annex of your financial support agreement that we are going to conclude with you. Next slide, please. Here you can see the eligible costs, cost types that you can add to your budget breakdown. As I mentioned, for each task, a budget breakdown will be automatically created by the Excel file. So for the cost category, under the cost category, you have to provide a short explanation for each row for the unit costs and the for the units and for the cost per unit. So anything that you can see in yellow, you will have to provide an information. All financial data should be in euro. You can include fractions, and you have to enter both the items and the cost per items in the yellow cells, and the total cost will be automatically calculated. The justification must be provided to each entry, and it should be a detailed explanation of the cost, how it was determined, and the justification for the market price or the best value for money that was used when determining the cost. Next slide, please. Here are the general eligibility conditions that you can find also in the call document. So the eligible cost must be necessary. They have to linked to the action that you are going to carry out. It must be incurred by the recipient, and it must be verifiable. Next slide, please. The three, or sorry, more precisely four cost categories that you can choose during preparation of your budget plan is a personnel cost, which is pretty self-explanatory. So this is the staff time spent on the project work reported in person months. The subcontracting is it's really important that is limited up to the 20% of the total budget, and you must offer in the justification part, you must offer a best value for money explanation, and also you have to explain how the conflict of interest was avoided, and you have to support that by quotes or comparisons or market researches. In case of travel, and other goods and services. They also must be justified, they must be cost effective, must be documented, and the grouped travel cost should reflect on an average trip cost. In the budget table, you will find only one line for that, so that's a reason for that. Next slide, please. And as a closing on finances and legals, you can see here the two questions 3.1 and 3.3, which reflects on your budget. And what we expect here from you is to provide a short explanation. Let's say it's an executive summary on your budget and also on the resource allocation. So all the data that you have put into the Excel table should be summarized here in a precise, concise, and easily readable manner. And that, yes, and a short explanation on the legal framework. You can find here all the important information on the legal background on which this call and on our grant agreement is based upon. So it's an I3 model grant agreement, but you can also find information on how the lump sum grants work in case of Horizon Europe and in case of the I3 lump sum model. And of course, as it has already been mentioned, the main document for financing and for legal is our call document, and the annex 2 of that call document, the financial support agreement. And I would give back the floor to Viola. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Gabor. So let's proceed with the evaluation process now. Here you can see a summary on how the SMEs will be selected. So we have three main criteria: relevance, quality, and impact, and four sub-criteria, each worth 25%: relevance and experience, methodology and work plan, feasibility and risk management, and then impact and value creation. The call is, the scoring is competitive, so all the applicants can receive up to 100 scores during the evaluation, and all the important further details are. Sorry, would someone like to speak up? Or should we continue?
We can continue.
Okay, thank you. So all the important information regarding the scoring criteria is detailed in the call text. And here you can see the summary of the evaluation process. After receiving your applications, we will start with the admissibility and eligibility check. This will be done by EITS InnoStars. And then we will go to or move to the quality evaluation, the remote evaluation part of the assessment. First, here 3 independent evaluators will assess each proposal, and they will score them, and the overall score of each proposal will be the average of all the evaluators. Then the top 3 proposals per challenge will be invited to participate in the hearings. These will be online interviews where a jury from the consortium member will select the final applicants for the funding, and maximum 5 applicants, which means 1 per challenge, will be selected to participate in the program. And what happens after becoming a selected SME? Here you can see an overview or the timeline of the implementation period of this open call. So as mentioned already, until 18th of August, we will notify the selected applicants, and then we will start the contracting phase, and a kickoff meeting will take place until the 30th of September, and then starting on October 1st until the 31st of March, the implementation period will follow. This will mean 4 to 6 months, during which the selected applicants will have the opportunity to tackle the challenges of the flagship SMEs. The activity closure is end of March, and this will be followed by the final report that needs to be submitted. The payments will be transferred to selected applicants in 2 installments. The advance payment of 20% will be transferred after the contracting and the kickoff meeting, and the final payment, which is 80%, will be transferred on the closure of the project. And some important information on the implementation period. As already highlighted by Gabor earlier, the selected SMEs will sign a financial support agreement with the ITS InnoStars, which formalizes the funding timeline and obligations of the project implementation. And they will also sign a collaboration agreement with their challenge partner to set the terms of their collaboration. During the contracting phase, the final work plan and deadlines of the deliverables will be confirmed together with the challenge owner partner. And after that, during the implementation, the selected SME is requested to follow these milestones and deliver the deliverables by deadline. As mentioned already, there will be no cost reporting, but payments will be based on results. Gabor, would you like to add anything to this part of the presentation?
Yes, just a small addendum for the record keeping. So the details of the record keeping is set out in the financial support agreement and also in the call. And what is important that, as we have already mentioned, there will be no cost reporting in the end of the project, but you will report on the deliverables that you were able to, or you will be able to deliver. And you should have all the related documentation that justifies that the work has been carried out. So that's an important thing. And the collaboration agreement is going to set the terms on the results. So as it is set out in the call text, the results will be the result of the challenge will be obtained by the Flagship SME, but the background, so all the property rights, information data that has been created up to the point of the agreement conclusion will be with the parties, meaning with the recipient of the grant and also with the Flagship SME.
Thank you.
And I think that would be my addendum.
Thank you, Gabor. So as the next point of the agenda, we have a quick Q&A session. I don't know if we received any questions so far. If Peter, you could help me out here, that would be great. Thank you.
Yes, actually, we have 4 questions in the chat. Let me start with that one. The first 2 is eligibility question. The first one is, I live in the USA. Can I still submit a proposal? Unfortunately, we don't know where the SME is registered of this person.
Yes, as mentioned in the presentation, what matters is the place of legal establishment of the SME that it would like to apply. So the recipient of the grant will be an SME. So that is formative here.
Yeah. And the second eligibility question is, can Turkish SMEs apply to this grant?
No, unfortunately, Turkey is not eligible for this open call.
And the 2 other questions are, I think, quite specific to the challenges and the SMEs. So I would suggest to come back these questions once we are done with the introduction of the challenges. Okay. And then I see 2 hands raised, and in the order of hand raising, it's Agatha the first.
Yes, hello. Hello. I have also an eligibility question. I was a bit late, so sorry for that, and maybe I missed something. Is there a possibility to apply as a consortium, let's say, to SMEs for one challenge?
No, unfortunately, we can only accept applicants as one SME per per application.
1 talent, okay, per application. Yes. Okay, because there is a ability to subcontract something. So that's why my question has risen, because we can involve as a subcontractor another SME, yeah?
Yes, this means that the recipient of the grant can be the SME, but there is the possibility for them to use this grant up to 20% to subcontract another legal entity to carry out the work with. Please, Gabor, if you would like to add anything to that, then
yes, this is the explanation was correct. So up to 20% of your grant, up to that threshold, you are able to include a subcontractor in the process.
Yeah, and this also means that we will contract the SME. That is, so the SME needs to sign the collaboration agreement as well as the subgranting agreement.
Okay, and the last question, because there was a slide where could we go back to the slide showing the regions?
Sure.
So it means that the privileged region, these are the regions, a region covered by. So only SMEs from those regions should apply?
Yes, exactly.
So there is no Poland, yes?
The Poland, so regions, all the eligible regions are not listed in this slide, but this is listed in the call text very explicitly. So as you can see here, Poland, parts of Poland is marked with red. And the regions which are marked with red are eligible to apply for this call. Unfortunately, I don't know by heart the regions from Poland, but you can consult the call text. And if you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out.
Because here in the third bullet, a region covered by the VR Health Champion, there is no. So it means that, okay, it's everyone can apply, but those regions are privileged, yes?
No, sorry if it caused you any confusion, but here it's first we have the less developed regions marked with red. They are not listed here. Then the outermost regions also marked with red. And then additional regions which are not necessarily less developed regions or outermost regions, but are covered by the consortium.
I thought that, thank you for that explanation. Now I understand. Thank you.
Don't worry.
The next one is Juan Manuel.
Hi. Let me show my face when I'm asking. So first of all, thank you for explaining all with so much detail. My company works on developing VR solutions, in particular for the health sector. So this is very interesting for us, this opportunity. I have a question on the documents we have to submit, in particular those additional required documents that Viola, you were mentioning. My question was first regarding the company registered certificate and the proof of activity. For us, these documents are in Spanish. Should we submit them with a translation, or is it fine to submit them in the original language?
Thank you for the question. Gabor, if you could take this one, I would appreciate it.
Sorry, I had some issues with the internet connection. Could you please?
Yes, of course. So my
Thank
question was regarding those additional documents we have to send with our application.
Yes.
There is the company registered certificate and the proof of activity. Can we submit these documents in the original language, or should we have a translation in English so you can evaluate them? Or
yes. So please send us the original documents. I mean the copies, of course, the original documents. But if you could attach an English translation to it, if it's not in English, it would be a great help for us just to determine the general eligibility during the evaluation.
Perfect. So it doesn't have to be a sworn translation, for example.
No.
Okay. And then perfect. Thanks for clarifying that. And then I am not completely sure I understand the other additional required document, which is best value for money justification. You require a pay slip. I don't know if this is, for example, if we if in our budget we are for example, if we need to acquire materials or something, or
Yes.
what are you looking for exactly?
Yes, so the best value for money is a general principle which is in the model grant agreement of the project. So we obliged to apply this principle in the school as well. And this means that when you would like to include a cost in your budget estimation, let's say materials, let's use this example. So you say that you would like to use a kind of material among the costs that you are going to put it in your budget estimation. You have to be able to provide a justification
I
on
see.
that you used the supplier with the best price, for example. So you can, it's not necessarily mean that you are going to choose the cheapest solution possible, but for example, in case you have already in place procurement regulations in your company, which determines the basic aspects, how you going to select a supplier for any kind of activity, then you should attach your procurement regulation to your documentation, and you should also provide an explanation on how you came to this conclusion that you are going to choose this cost. So let's say another example. Let's say that you would like to use an equipment. I mean, the equipment cost, it's not an eligible cost, but I think it can work as an example. You say that you want to use an equipment for your activity to carry out, and with a simple Google search, it's really easy to find information on that it's normally 1,000 euro. So it doesn't really matter whether you go to supplier A or supplier B or supplier C, but you provide 10,000 in your cost estimation, then for us it's going to mean that probably there is some kind of problem with the way that this procurement would be carried out, or the cost estimation has been carried out.
I understand. Okay. So it's a bit more clear now for me. Thanks for your answers.
Of course, you're welcome.
And we have one more hand raised by Armando.
Yes, that's me. Thank you very much. A couple of questions. We are a public foundation, part of the Andalusian Regional Health Ministry, and we don't know if we can apply for that for that call. We are public sector. And the second one, if it is possible that we could apply, if it is possible to connect with the companies in order to get more information about the projects. Thank you.
Thank you. So regarding the first question, if you could consult the description linked in the open call text about the definition of the European Commission on SMEs, then I think you can decide. But also, if that doesn't clarify, then you can reach out to us to further investigate this question and answer it after the call. And regarding the second question, this webinar is the opportunity to reach out to the SMEs to discuss questions about their challenge. So this is the platform here.
And we have, before we go to the presentation of the SMEs, we have, I think, one last question in the chat, which refers to the eligibility of transition regions. But I think that in the meantime, we have answered this question that only less developed regions, outermost regions, and those regions which are covered by the consortium members are eligible. So transition regions are not eligible for the call.
Yes, that's correct. Unfortunately, they are excluded from the eligibility.
And I think that was the last question, Viola, so we can go ahead.
Thank you, Peter. Then let's move to the second part of this webinar, which will be about the challenges. Just a short disclaimer here that the detailed description of all the challenges with the deliverables and eligible activities is available in Annex 1 of the open call text. But now let's start with Lightspace, and I'd like to ask Robert to take the word if Robert is here.
Yes, hello everyone. So my name is Robert and I represent Lightspace. So our challenge is AR specific camera sensor integration with focus on depth sensing. But first about our product. So our product is medical augmented reality head-mounted display. So what we have demonstrated is the human-centric optics. So we've achieved no eye strain when using this technology. So, and within the project, it is to be complemented with diverse built-in sensors and a self-contained sensor package. So the use case foresees that there will be no external sensors in this, and the primary use case is surgical navigation. So we work together with MedApp, who are the application partner, so to speak, of this surgical navigation, and we are the hardware provider. And the areas that we are addressing is ease of use, convenience, and this eye comfort or no eye strain, no virgin accommodation conflict as often used in the industry, and the accuracy of positional tracking, because augmented reality head-mounted displays are have to ensure this accuracy in the surgical setting. And this is what we want to do here with this challenge. So next slide, please. So yes, the challenge, the AR specific camera sensor integration with focus and depth sensing. So what it means. So we've developed the optics and we've packaged it in, as shown in the previous image, in the head-mounted form factor. Nevertheless, for the use in surgical navigation, the sensor set has to be complemented with additional cameras and depth sensing technologies, direct depth sensing technologies, to ensure both positional accuracy, tool tracking, and this this basically is a use case enabling requirement to have these tracking capabilities. And what we're looking for basically is integration of world sensing sensors, cameras, and direct sensing methods, like depth cameras, time of flight sensors, and things like that. That meet certain criteria so that they can be easily integrated in the head-mounted display, the frontal part, so that they have to be low weight and compact. They have to be power optimized so that there's the low thermal footprint. And we would be glad if the focus would concern the direct depth sensing technologies for the near field. So our relevant depth range is up to a meter, maybe 1.5 meters, but no more than that with this surgical setting. So that's the target. And preferably we would want to see a MIPI interface, as this is a universal standard for connecting things. Yes, so next slide, please. So the expected outcomes of this challenge is the analysis of world sensing, direct sensing technologies compatible with medical augmented reality. So this means that we would know what's available and what can be done in this. Then there's integration architecture, both in terms of software and hardware parts of this, to integrate with our existing augmented reality head-mounted display platform. We would like to see the tangible validation prototype, some sort of a demonstrator, a development kit or sorts, to see the operation, and initial testing results, basically validation of feasibility of integration in terms of hardware, software, and the performance of these sensors. Yes, and the overarching outcome is that with this, it will be possible to enhance tracking and sensing capabilities of light space, augmented reality, head-mounted display. So the profiles of the applicants that we consider are well fitting for this challenge are SMEs which have experience in direct sensing technologies, maybe someone who's developing unique techniques and products in this domain, like small modules for direct depth sensing based on different technologies. Yes, so they can be also SMEs with experience in this landscape of these sensor technologies, camera sensors, depth sensing technologies and modules that could also do the integration work, basically, and electronics developers, and maybe also we do not exclude people and SMEs with deep knowledge in direct depth extraction from stereoscopic image, so SLAM technologies and things like that. So, and the next slide, please. Yes, so the eligible activities in this case are creation of plans, designs, physical demonstrators, adaptation of existing prototypes. For example, if you have already a working technology, it can be adapted to have this integration feasible with Lightspace platform, and evaluation of technology performance. So the initial evaluation or performance demo. And there are 4 main deliverables: depth sensing technology assessment, which is an analysis document, basically, integration architecture document, a laboratory prototype demonstrator, this physical aspect of this challenge, and preliminary testing results that demonstrate the performance and future prospects, basically. So that's in short, or maybe not so in short, about our challenge. So thank you.
Thank you, Robert. We'll address the questions during the Q&A session in the end of the challenge presentations. But now let's move on to the next challenge, which is by Madam Masi or
hello everyone.
Yes,
hello everyone.
Please
nice
take
to
the
meet
word.
you. I represent MEDAP, and what we do here in the project is we develop Carnolife Column MedNav, an AR surgical navigation system. As Robert said, they are providing the hardware, but we are responsible for the software side and the final product that will enter the market. So our key differentiator for our medical navigation system, it will use only the HMD for both tracking and visualization of the navigation. So there is no external tracker required. It will be an intra-operative decision support tool, and what we need now is a proper certification path to the market. And one of the challenges on the way is to perform a clinical risk factor analysis, clinical risk assessment, and create also a risk assessment framework for XR in surgical navigation. So we have established 3 deliverables, the 3 main outcomes of this project. One is the XR-specific surgical risk factor analysis for intraoperative use. Second is the surgical XR safety protocol framework. So one thing is to bring the headset into the OR and all of the things that are connected to it, but then what happens if something goes wrong and the battery runs out, if it's when it becomes dangerous to the patient, to the user, what regulations and what steps do we need to take to mitigate those risks that are implemented while bringing the additional device into the into the OR, and also the device that is on the head of the doctor. Okay, it is a pair of glasses, but still it introduces some additional risk, and we want to mitigate them all. We need to find them all and plan on this early stage how we'll mitigate all of those problems. So please, the next slide. So what are the activities, eligible activities here? Those are the you can use the test beds, complement all of the complementary activities to improve the regulation standards, to remove bottlenecks. You can also do activities that are directly aiming at producing plans, arrangements, even design for this new product, and also all kind of innovation services for the development of these new strategies and mitigation plans. So please, next slide. So who are we looking for? Basically, we are looking for someone who is experienced with setting up the clinical risk assessment framework, especially the ones that are already experienced with innovative devices, introducing innovative devices into the market, European market. Additional bonus is if you have experience already with XR technologies, of course, as this task is directly connected with it. It's not a must, but it will help us work with you and help us develop a good plan within this time frame. Also, what is required is the regulatory compliance knowledge, of course, the knowledge of the norms that are connected with the risk management. Also, a clinical knowledge is a plus, of course, as we are assessing a medical device. So this is the most important elements of all of the SMEs that will be taking part in this challenge.
Thank you very much. Let's proceed to the next challenge, which is by MIVA. Marco, if you are here, please take the floor.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much, Viola. Hello, everybody. I'm Marco. I'm here to represent MIVA. MIVA is an Italian SME founded in 2022 with a mission to design and deliver immersive digital therapy for mental health. So we are specialized in VR-based apps for neurodivergent population and primarily for young people, teens, affected with autism. We focus to co-design and develop clinical validation for immersive serious games. At the moment, the state of the art, we have these platforms, that is serious gaming platform, a video game that's called Zentastic. This platform is a multiplayer VR game for autistic teens. Through this game, young boys and girls can develop a social skill, interact with each other, while doing some kind of session with different kind of activities. All these activities are clinically tested and they help improve both social and functional skills for the young boys. At the moment, we are integrating tools inside the project. We are HC project, as a multi-party conversational analysis. So instruments that can improve and measure how much teens and players are talking to each other, what are they saying to each other, to get more results to help the clinical potentials of this platform. And on parallel, we are developing a single player VR game, always for autistic teens. So Zentastic is a multiplayer, but we are moving for having a single player experience. Next slide, please. Thank you. Coming to the challenge. In a nutshell, we would like to include in our platform, Zentastic, and in our future single-player game, an AI-based virtual agent in the VR therapy. So the idea is having this NPC, non-playable character, that can interact with players based on AI virtual agents. Coming to the challenge, the idea is to define a conceptual and technical framework for implementing intelligent virtual agents. And the focus is designing of a screening and evaluating method for AI agents, having a specification of requirements for different mental health use cases, and an implementation strategy for AI integration in VR-based therapy. So starting from the abstract, we would like who is keen to take this challenge, to have a study on clinical level, technical level, and implementation level. So to have a condensed and holistic framework. Our vision is to enable these adaptive clinical aligned AI agents inside the platform in order to enhance user engagement and enrich the VR session. Next slide, please. The outcome, as I said before, is to have this comprehensive analytical foundation for AI-powered virtual agents in VR therapy, tailored for neurodivergent adolescents. As I said before, all this has to be clinical with clinical references. So it's really important for us and for our target, for sure. And everything has to be with clinical evidence, grounded clinical evidence, technical feasibility, and user engagement. So what we are looking for, companies and teams that are expert in AI for effective computing and conversational agents, for sure. This is the challenge. VR development for healthcare and therapeutic applications. Mental health, neurodevelopmental disorder, human interactions. So especially the last point is relevant for those that have experience about co-designing and implementation experience in immersive digital health. Next slide, please. So coming down to eligibility activities, as I said before, there is the idea, the screening and an evaluation methodology. Define the criteria to assess to the clinical and technical value of AI agents in VR therapy. This is something that has never been done before, so we are really ambitious. We know we would like to have this framework to understand what we can do. A system and module specification, so identify the technical and functional requirements for deploying AI across various mental health scenarios. And last, the implementation approach. Design strategies to integrate AI agents into therapeutic VR platform like Zentastic. But bear in mind that all these strategies, we would like to have them work with Zentastic for sure, but for our single player version that still has to come is a work in progress. So coming to the deliverable in concrete, number one, so the concrete action is a virtual agent assessment report, a comprehensive analysis of AI virtual agents, alternatives for XR therapeutic application, focusing on suitability for neurodevelopmental disorder, a technical requirement specification, so detailed technical requirements and system architecture for implementing AI agents in therapeutic XR environments. And last but not least, the implementation framework, structured implementation approach with evaluation criteria for selecting appropriate AI agents, technologies in mental health application. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marco. Let's move to the next challenge, which is my meta skills. Marius, the floor is yours. Marius, are you here with us?
is here.
Okay, if there is no answer, then let's move to the next challenge and then we can come back to meta skills.
Marius is here.
Okay. Marius, then please.
I think we just cannot hear him.
Okay, hopefully this technical problem can be solved within a few minutes. But until then, I suggest again to move to Virtualip. I hope Diogo or Pepiana, you are present. So please feel free to present your challenge.
Thank you, Viola. Hi, everyone. My name is Diogo Pinto. I'm grant manager at Virtualip. And Virtualip is a Portuguese company working at the intersection between neurosciences and technology to develop immersive virtual reality solutions for cognitive assessment, training, and monitoring. We have currently 2 products in the market. Our most recent product is CogniClear VR. It was launched last November and is a cognitive assessment tool in virtual reality inspired by the validated cognitive tests like the Montreal Cognitive Assessment and the Mini Mental State Examination. And it is designed to detect the earliest manifestations of cognitive decline, even during the phase of subjective cognitive decline. So it provides extra granularity on the assessment, not only based on 0 and 1 scores as the MOCA test, and for instance, but also provides some granularity in terms of accuracy rates, error rates, and some other metrics that we measure and that are part of the formula to calculate the scoring system of CogniClear. So as I mentioned, the product was launched last November. And here in the scope of the VR Health Champions project, we want to accelerate the market entrance of CogniClear VR. And as a long-term goal, this tool will be used by clinicians to support on the diagnosis of cognitive decline in a population aged or above 55 years old. And for that reason, because it takes a medical decision, this will be classified as a risk class 2A in the long term. But in order to get the product earlier in the market and to start doing some sales, generating revenue, and comply here with the scope of the objective of the VR Health Champions project, we will start by classifying to develop a different intended use for this product as a self-administered cognitive assessment tool for adults above 18 years old. That means that there's no medical prescription needed, that it doesn't take any medical decision on your cognitive status. It eventually will provide some information on your cognitive status and eventually will tell you, well, go see a doctor because your score is this or that. But it doesn't take any decision, and that can be classified as class 1 device. This will help us speed up the certification process and get the product into the market, hopefully by the end of the project. So next slide, please, Viola. Thank you. So based on that, we have been collaborating with the IPN team on these regulatory issues and the regulatory roadmap towards the certification of the product as a class 1 device. In parallel, we have been developing also the strategy for the class 2A certification process, along with the clinical validation process. But here in the scope of this challenge, which has a clear regulatory scope, we want to develop a regulatory technical documentation framework for the certification of CogniClear as a class 1 device, according to the medical device regulation Annex 2 and 3. And that includes the device description, whatever is listed, everything that is listed in this Annex 2 and 3 of the MDR, and that includes the device description and specification, information to be supplied by the manufacturer, design and manufacturing information, general safety and performance requirements, benefits, risk analysis and risk management, product verification and validation, including preclinical and clinical data, and as in the Annex 3, the post-market surveillance information. Next one, please. So as I was mentioning, the focus is to compile core CE marking technical documentation for the certification of CogniClear as a medical device software. This is important to understand that we are only selling or developing a software. We use commercial VR headsets in our solution that doesn't need to go through a certification process, according to what we have discussed, these preliminary discussions we had with IPN team. But what we are developing is a medical device software. We need to ensure compliance, or the documents or whatever comes out of this open call needs to ensure compliance with EU safety, performance, and risk standards. And we want to understand what are the preclinical and clinical data that is needed for the certification of the products. We have been developing this, as I mentioned, with the IPN team. But eventually, for this class 1 device, we need to fine-tune it. In terms of expected outcome, so we hope to develop a specialized technical documentation framework tailored to the unique regulatory challenges of the VR cognitive assessment tool. And as so, in terms of what we are looking for, in terms of the applicant to collaborate with us, we would like to connect with an expert in regulatory affairs, either a consultant SME or something else, with a focus and expertise and experience in medical device software, and as a plus, in particular with VR technology. Next one, please. So in terms of eligible activities, first, we need you to understand our business and regulatory needs, along with what we have been developing with IPN team, and what is the current stage of development of our solution. The regulatory roadmap, this is being developed by IPN. By the time that we will start the collaboration with the selected SME, we will already have the regulatory roadmap in place and being implemented. And what we need after during this first initial assessment on the current state, then we need the SME to start preparing the technical documentation for the class 1's self-certification of CogniClear VR. In terms of deliverables, so in line with the activities previously described, the first deliverable would be a VR-specific regulatory analysis on the requirements and all documents and data that is needed for the regulatory process. The second deliverable would be the documentation templates for the technical documentation dossier, and guidance on what information we need to provide you so you can elaborate on this technical documentation. And as a final deliverable, the regulatory guidance document that includes the technical documentation and how to implement and to manage this information with the regulatory authorities and other partners. This will be the final deliverable. And I think this is it from my side. Just to answer Greg's question, here in the chat regarding Challenge 5. So we don't have a focus on haptic gloves. It's just VR software, and again, no focus on haptic gloves.
Thank you, Dio.
You're welcome.
Before moving to the
hello.
Q&A part of this webinar, let's go back to MetaSkills. I hope Marius now. Yes, now we can hear you. Okay. So great. Please feel free to introduce MetaSkills.
Sorry for technical difficulty. Hello, everyone. I'm Mariusz. I represent MetaSkill today. And today I would like you to show how we are rethinking soft skill training in healthcare. We are developing a VR-based platform where users are interact with GenAI-powered avatars. There aren't just static characters. They have personality, emotions, and needs, and they react to how the user communicates. Why it's important? Because the ability to manage people, resolve conflict, and communicate clearly, especially in difficult circumstances, is just as important in healthcare as clinical knowledge. Wherever you are giving feedback to nurse, explaining the diagnosis to patient, or leading a hospital team through the crisis, there is a high-stake conversations, and we are hard to train, and they are hard to train for. That's the gap we are address. By providing realistic simulation and that feel personal and dynamic. Next slide, please. Our training doesn't happen in classroom, it's happening in VR, where the user are immersed in a fully interactive setting, free from judgment or pressure. You step into the scenario, let's say delivering bad news to a patient's family, and interact with an AI-driven avatar who reacts to what you say, how you say it, and even your emotional tone. You can make mistakes, try again, ask AI coach for guidance, and then to do it better the next time in real life. This kind of repetition with reflection builds confidence. And because it feels real, the learning sticks. For healthcare professionals who rarely get a chance to rehearse their moments, it's a game changer. It's also scalable, efficient, and adaptable to the different roles, from clinical educators to hospital managers. Next slide, please. Our solution works. We've tested it. We've seen how powerful it is. But now we face a different kind of challenge, business one. How do we bring this innovation into the real hospitals and medical training centers across Europe? That's where this project comes in. We are looking for partners to help us validate the pathway to market. How are VR-based tools actually procured in healthcare institutions? How makers of the decision to adopt such solutions, and what are they comparing us to? What kind of business models we will make this attractive for long-term use? At the same time, we want to test our system in real-life world pilot, gathering structured feedback from healthcare professionals. This goal is simple: remove the friction points and pave the way for broader adoption. Next slide, please. By the end of this project, we want to have clear evidence-based strategy how to scale our platform across the different healthcare systems. That include validate pricing model, go-to-market plan, and short list of potential partners, wherever that's resellers, training companies, or medical education hubs. We are looking for partners with experience in healthcare markets, research, procurement, or clinical development of digital tools. You might be a research institute, a hospital innovation unit, or consultancy with access to decision makers. What matters the most is your ability to help us understand the system and test the product in a real magnificent context. Next slide, please.
Thank you very much, Marius.
Okay. Yeah. So we last sentences, please. This work will be hands-on and practical. Together, we will conduct interviews with workshop with stakeholders. We'll map the procurement process, benchmark against competitors, and test different business models. Most important, we'll coordinate a pilot deployment in at last one healthcare settings to see how the product performs in real life. We will then document everything in accomodate reports from procurement insight to usability feedback, so we can confidently move to the next phase, commercial scale up. In short, this isn't just research; it's a stepping stone to real impact in the Europe healthcare. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marius. So as a conclusion of today's webinar, we will have a Q&A session. But before I stop sharing my screen, I'd like to just highlight again that at the vrhealthchampions.eu website, all information is available, and we'll also upload there the materials of today and also the answers to the questions in the frequently asked questions part of the website. And in case you have any additional questions that you cannot ask today, at the Cascade Call at vrhealthchampions.eu email address, we collect them and also answer everything through the website. Thank you very much again. And now I will stop sharing my screen and give the floor to Peter to share his screen to show all the questions that we received so far.
Yeah, so I collected all the questions in a simple document just to visualize it for everyone. Some of them have already been answered in the chat, but I think it worth to go through them anyway. So regarding Lightspace, we received one question. So what kind of SDKs are required? Is there a preferred main platform for development? And the answer is C or C++ preferred, both Windows or Linux in this case. I don't know, Robert, if you want to elaborate more on that.
Yes, this is not clear, like in what context. Yes, if we are talking about sensor integration, then this is one thing. If we are talking about SLAM or some other things, then I assume a different answer would be fitting here. So it would be great to understand the context.
So if the person who asked the question is here, please feel free to speak up and specify your question.
Yes, the challenge one question was coming from me, right? So as I understand, this is a completely customized solution for a customized device, right? It's not using any known SDKs from Meta directly, for example, right? So it's a custom solution written in C, C++ for the hardware, right?
Basically, yes. But we do support OpenXR standard for like the end user or application developers. So, but
this is good to know. OpenXR is also something that we actually know, so it's good to know. Thank you.
Okay, is there any more question to Lightspace?
I have one more question. Are you considering using any application with this, like Unity, Unreal Engine, things like that? I mean, the environment, which would be supporting the whole device. Or are you only focused on something custom only for the device?
No. We like applications for our headset. So basically, you can integrate it with Unreal, Godot, Unity, no problem there. Okay, with Unreal, we struggle a bit, but
true.
Because they are special in a way.
Exactly.
But Godot, Unreal, Unity works well. So
thank you so much, Robert, for your answers.
Okay, then we have two questions to MedUp. The first one is, I think it starts with a statement from the challenge that this software uses XR glasses for diagnostic image visualization aimed at preoperative planning and intraoperative support for many types of surgical procedures. And the question is the support required for a specific type of surgery?
Yes, so we will focus here basically on kidney biopsy. That's our main goal: kidney biopsy, liver biopsy, and femoral access.
Okay. Any more questions to MedUp team?
That's another. There is another question. I see. What kind of device is being used? So we are using the Lightspace device. So the proprietary device from Lightspace that is developed especially to this challenge.
Thank you so much. I have a quick question also. I was wondering, you mentioned something that you are also looking for new designs, maybe. You meant for the software?
We meant about the usage of the glasses in the OR and all of the requirements that comes along the way. So basically, if from the risk analysis, it will we will see that there is a need from the clinical side for like, I don't know, escape button. Okay, so we can close all the things and destroy all of the digital layers. Then also this design of how to implement that, the idea how to implement that will be great if we could include that in this challenge. So think in this way, it is a design that comes out of the risk analysis.
Understood. And also, you mentioned earlier that you would like to focus on kidney and pulmonary surgeries.
Kidney, liver, and femoral access.
Can I ask, like, of course, the clinical part, or like the clinical experts would, of course, need to have experience in these areas specifically, so that the solution and the assessment is best suited for these specialties.
Yes, it's best suited for these specialties, but here it's not a very hard stop. So basically, the most important from the clinical point of view is that they have experience with either biopsies or medical navigation. So this is the most important factor. To have experience in that kind, if that's aligned also with this specific treatments that I mentioned, it's great. But it's not like if they don't have it, we don't do that. So the most important thing is that they have experience with biopsies or medical navigation itself.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Okay. If there are no more questions to the MEDAP team, then we haven't received any questions to Miva in the chat. But if anyone has a question now, I think, yeah, Juan Manuel, you're raising your hand.
Hi, once again. I just have a quick question on the deliverable part here. Because if I understood correctly, there are 3 deliverables here. So I understand the first and the second ones, the assessment report and the technical required specifications, are more documentation per se. But I'm not sure what's the scope on the deliverable 3, the implementation framework. I don't know if your idea is to, for example, to have a POC to check how these AI virtual agents are working within the application, or
Yeah,
if you
correct.
could expand. Okay.
No, correct what you're saying. So the idea is the presentation is a documentation as well, and was tested, and how what you say is correct. You got it.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure I understood correctly. Thank you.
One question coming to Marco, also from my side. Do I understand correctly what kind of platforms do we aim? I'm always asking about the platforms because this is very crucial, and this is something that gives me an overview. Is it like, example, Unreal, Unity, OpenXR, stuff like that?
No. At the moment, Zentastic, the platform we have, and the single player that is coming to be, they are developing in Unity.
Thank you. Is it like non-tethered devices?
Non-tethered devices is MetaQuest.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any more questions to Miva and Marco? If not, then I'm coming back. Then questions to MetaSkills. So Marius, first, could we see a demo of MetaSkills in order to understand how works the avatars? I think the main problem here sorry.
Go on.
Yeah. So we just had a quick talk with Viola. That the problem is that we cannot provide you with the demo, because in every case we need to provide the equal access to information for all of the applicants. So we cannot organize these kind of one-on-one demonstrations, unfortunately. So I understand it would be useful for you, but due to the quite strict regulations of the EU, we will not be able to provide you this before the application, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I will add only that please go to our website. There are a lot of more information on how we are, and it's open, publicly open, so you can access freely. And there are explain in details how it is working, and in more detail, let's say. Okay.
Yeah, of course. So if all the public informations are on your website, so whatever is available there, it's available for everyone. So that's the way you can get even more information.
Yes.
And the second question to you, Marius, can you share what platforms are aimed for development? Devices, non-tethered VR, high battery life optimization required?
We are developing it in Unity and on Meta Store currently. So all Meta Store devices are included, from I think Quest 2 up to current US one. So currently we are focusing on that.
That was my question. So if this is MetaStore required, the application, it also has some requirements, so everything's clear. Thank you so much.
No worries. But we are open into the other platforms if needed. But currently we are working on those setup.
Thank you so much. Any more questions to MetaSkills and Marius from the audience? If not, then we can jump to the last. We had 3 questions in the chat to Diogo and Virtualib. I think all of them were answered, but still it was to mention them. So the first one, is there any focus on the haptic gloves? This one was, I think, answered during the presentation, but if any elaboration is needed on that, please do it now. Yeah. Then the second question is there a patient knowledge base regarding procedures on how to assess patient's condition, guidelines to help in developing a technical documentation framework? Diogo, can you please answer it also? Because I think it's better if you answer it than I'm reading out your answer.
Yeah, sure. So we are currently, and as I mentioned, the product was launched in November last year, and we are currently conducting some pilot studies to gather clinical data related to the product, and particularly normative data. We have a pilot starting now with a university here in Portugal, and a second one that will start in the scope of VR Health Champions with a larger clinical population. And as so, this will help us fine-tuning the scoring system. So we will these second tests, and actually both studies will help us matching the scoring system that we have for CogniClear with the MOCA tests and scores. So that is the idea, but it will take a bit longer than well, it's not now, it's a future work, let's say. I think if that answers the question.
Yeah. So let me ask you to answer the last question as well regarding the device and the platform development.
Yeah, so currently CogniClear is available in MetaQuest headsets, and for that reason, MetaQuest, they are not tethered, and the platform is developed in units with elements in SDK as well. So yeah, that's the answer for the question, I guess.
Thank you, Diego. Thank you so much.
Thank you. As far as I see, we come to the end of the questions that were submitted in the chat. So anybody, any questions from the audience? And if not, then I give back the word to, oh, okay. Juan Manuel.
Yes, sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions, but this one is regarding the submission part. Because I was reviewing what you were telling us during the first hour of the session. So just to make sure I understood this correctly. So when it comes to the evaluation of the proposal, you will evaluate the relevance and the quality of the proposal. But I understand when we are submitting the documentation, what we are submitting is the work plan within the Excel file with the lump sum budget and everything. This also will include the resource allocation efficiency, as you have said before. But I have some doubts about how you are then evaluating for example, the quality and the clarity of the proposed methodology and the relevance and experience. This is something you would evaluate, for example, during the interview process, or if you can clarify that.
Sure. Thank you very much for the question. Sorry if it wasn't clear during the presentation, but the important thing is here that we have these attachments that are required to be submitted with the application, but the main part of the application submission is filling in a form that is available on the VR Has Champions website, and we are asking these details on your project plan in the form and the questions
I see.
there.
Okay. Now it's clear. Thank you for the answer.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions related to the challenges or any of the processes regarding the open call? I cannot see anything in the chat that hasn't been answered, nor raised hands. So I think then we can conclude today's webinar. Thank you very much again for your attendance. And as mentioned before, we look forward to receiving your applications through the website and the application platform available on the VR Has Champions project website. If you have any further questions, please send them in the VR Has through the VR Has Champions website. The cascade call at vrhaschampions.eu email address, and we will address them and also make all these materials available on the website. Looking forward to receiving your applications. I wish you a very nice evening and thank you very much again.
Thank you for having us, and likewise have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.